Hi again, welcome to the Louise Janetta YouTube gallery and studio again. Thanks everyone for your interest in my YouTube channel and the work I'm trying to show everybody. It's lovely to get everybody's responses and it's really nice to see that people are enjoying what I'm doing, so thank you. I've done a whole series of things on mark making and abstracts, and I'm just about to sort of do some more bits on the abstracts. I'll do some abstracts, and then in the following video I'll do a couple of, flowers and leaves and things, so that it's not all just abstracts. I'm really into textures and how textures contain the paint and how they mark make and change the way that the paint lies. So you're not just using a brush and trying to get the paint on flat, or you're using it more like a abstract expressionist or impressionist and Van Gogh type thing, where you're mixing loads of paints on the same brush stroke and really exploring how the paints sit with each other and how you can make them layer and interact and they almost sparkle off each other. You definitely have a conversation, and it's that I'm really interested in. But also you end up obviously having to consider composition as well. So I'm just going to show you a few abstracts that I did in a video, my last video, 6 abstracts, and then there was cutting your own stencils to make mark making with the gel prints. Really lovely, and the results, even the end bit is really nice. I'll show you. So those were the stencils, and they're beautiful themselves. I really like this metallized card. And then you can start looking at the abstracts that you've made and the sort of mark making that's there and whether it's sort of useful or interesting. And these are just sketches, these are just trial and error, see what happens. But equally you can start looking at what it is that's there, because once you sort of put it into a mount, it transforms what you've got, doesn't it? It sort of finalises the image. And some of these are beautiful. That's lovely. I don't even know how I did that. That's obviously got blue on it and then black on the gel plate. But you can look at these on the other video. It's like that, which is nice. I mean, you could just mount that up, but I mean, as soon as you start taking bits out of it, it's really lovely. So there's a couple here I want to leave as they are, even with the mucky bits. Well, I might take some of that mucky out, but I can just take it out with a bit of white. That one, I mean, parts of that again I really love, so it's just a question of, see, even that lovely cross at the top there, so try and remember the bits that you really like. And this one works really well at the bottom here, when you take in this lettering. This one I wasn't pleased with at all, so I've added texture, and I'm just going to try and experiment with this plastic on there. I really like texture for a start, and I've added tape onto this because it was quite boring in itself, and when you take that out as an abstract you end up with these really lovely forms. This tape is just it's an aluminium tape builder's thing, and that's like a parcel tape. You could both print over this with these lovely marks, or you could just put a wash over it and see what happens, but we'll do that as we go along. And this was from the 6 abstracts, and again they look so much better when they're mounted up. Again, these are just sketches, and it's so much a question of learning from them, and doing something like this really sort of focuses you into a sort of composition that you'd be interested in. I must admit that I do really like the mess of them. I like the sort of depths of them. I like the way that they're not this sort of finished abstract that is so popular at the moment. I like them talking about things that are going on without your comprehension, that are in the peripheral vision. And of course these will make lovely pieces on which to work on again if you wanted to. I think one of the things you've got to think is you can add and add and add, especially with something like acrylics, because I can put white across here. I can even stick white card on. I could stick my lovely tapes on here, and you can really change what you've got and develop it and build it up. This is an abstract I did quite a while ago, and I did film parts of it, I think. I was just sort of showing how the textures were built up. Well, this is really worked on. I've got loads and loads of depths to this. I just kept going until I felt it was right. And it was a joy to do this as it came out. There were bits of it that just came out beautifully. Again, it's so difficult for you to see on the camera, but those pieces, there's sort of loads of lovely depth in that. And this was just packing paper that's absolutely solid with gesso. So this is in another video. I'll link it in on the little card in the corner. But this one was just worked and worked and worked, and some of the times they come out quickly, and sometimes they need more work on. You know, you need to keep going on them, and they benefit from it. It doesn't deteriorate, it sort of builds up with depths and textures. So there's moments when things happen absolutely beautifully without you having to try too hard. And it's a question of seeing it when it does. Sort of don't force it. Don't take it any further. I mean, this happened really quickly. It's just very lightly painted on gesso and fabrics, and it just worked almost straight away. I didn't really have to try too hard. And this one just came out like a dream. Again, I just didn't have to work too hard. Sorry about the light reflecting on it. There, that's better. And these, I started doing these. Oh, and I just loved the way that the paints get corrupted by the other colours. This one to me shrieks of that lovely simplicity, almost like a Chinese painting when your mark, your line has a voice. And the pattern just worked so well that it's sort of a minimalist poetry in the line. So that was it. You don't have to do anything else. So there's a real balance that you develop over time, and a sort of confidence and a knowledge. But equally, you get it wrong, and you have to accept that, bung it in the bin and start again. Or use it in a collage.